Hot Springs Village Inside Out is a closer look at the greatness of Hot Springs Village, Arkansas and the surrounding areas. People, places, experiences. Hot Springs Village is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Join me, Randy Cantrell, and my co-host Dennis Simpson as we engage in weekly conversations to explore Hot Springs Village Inside Out. Today's show is brought to you by Central Arkansas's favorite radio station, KVRE. Find them on the dial at 92.9 FM. Stream them live at kvre.com. Today's show is brought to you by RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village. The award-winning RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village is the largest real estate office inside the village with over 30 full-time agents and support staff. Visit them to learn more about this beautiful place to solve your real estate needs. Call them at 1-800-364-9007. Find them online at explorehsv.com. They are RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village at 1-800-364-9007 or online at explorehsv.com. HSV Inside Out is also brought to you by Ike Eisenhower State Farm. Ike and his award-winning team have been serving the insurance needs of folks all around Hot Springs Village since 1998. Ike has qualified for State Farm's President's Club, Chairman's Circle, and Hot Springs Village Insurance Agent of the Year. Call Ike Eisenhower State Farm today at 501-984-4100. That's 501-984-4100. Find them online at ikeeisenhower.net. Call them today for all your insurance needs because, like a good neighbor, Ike Eisenhower State Farm is there.
Dennis Simpson here, Hot Springs Village Inside Out, my good friend, Mr. Brian Kulis.
Hi,
Brian,
Dennis.
how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great.
He looks a lot better too, doesn't he?
Let's see. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
This is a guy who had some heart issues, and if anybody knows about Medicare and health issues, you probably have a new perspective on it, don't you?
I do have a first-hand knowledge of everything. In May, I had 6 bypasses.
6? Are you going for a record or something? Or what?
That's what. Yeah, the surgeon was trying for a record, but I stopped him at 6. So
You thought that would do, right?
That's right.
Man.
So, yeah.
And how long was your recovery roughly?
Probably. The first several days are brutal. I won't wish it on anybody, but after about 2 months, you're starting to get better. Your big scars healing. You can drive again. You can, I went to 36 sessions of physical therapy, so I'm done with all that. And one plus is I've lost a lot of weight, which I needed to.
Yeah.
So that's one plus of having bypasses. So
Man, so
yeah.
now if you've seen Brian before on billboards and on the radio and at 11:00 or 10:05 every morning, Mac at the Rack and Affordable Life and Health.
Yes.
Brian has been doing Affordable Life and Care. How long? How many years?
It's been about 16 years now.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
And one of the things we talk about with Brian, we've actually done shows before. We did we went down to John's and recorded some stuff.
Absolutely right.
And wonderful, great information. But the bottom line is that it changes every year, right?
That's right. All the advertisements right now are, hey, we have Medicare changes. Check with your local agent and everything. And that's what I do because it's very fluid. Just when you think Medicare is going to be constant, it changes, especially with drugs, prescription drugs for next year.
Well, but hang on. So I hear people say, call your local agent. But then Joe Namath calls me, and the 1-800 guys call me, and I'm like, what happened to local? What happened to local?
That's right. That's all of us local agents, want you to come to us.
Sure.
Because I've had some horror stories with some customers like, Brian, I'm sorry, but I said yes to this 800 number, and I have a plan now. My doctor's not in network, and this particular drug is twice as much as the plan you put me on. So sometimes I've got to go back and say, oh, yeah, I got to, Joe Namath, let's remedy what Joe Namath did,
No disparity to Joe.
I love Joe.
None whatsoever. But these national companies that call, and I do this on my radio show on Saturdays at 9 a.m., but I'll say...
What was that?
9 a.m.
9 a.m., okay.
KVRE, 92.9.
9 a.m.
HSV, in case Brian's asking. No, but what happens is that everybody says, well, we're local. It's 26 past the hour. What hour is it? You don't even know. You don't even know what time zone it is.
That's right. Yes.
You get people from 1-800s that call you all over and any time of night or day.
Oh, they do.
Oh, and drive you nuts because and here's what you say on your commercials. If you're turning 65 or what's the deal?
Turning 65, you're new to Medicare. Some people are new to Medicare. They've had disability. They may not be 65 yet. They may be 45 years old, and they after 2 years of disability, they go on Medicare. So,
really?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and now I've worked with the fine folks at AR Ship.
Yes.
Wonderful people. And they refer to people like you.
Right.
And AR Ship will, wherever you're watching or listening to this, Arkansas Ship, SHIPP, will tell you, people like Brian locally, that you can contact. But AR Ship also makes note that if you're turning 65, it automatically starts, right?
It does. Medicare Part A is automatic. Part B, which is physician services, Part A is hospital, Part B is physician services, and you have to opt into that. They usually send you a little card 4 or 5 months before you turn 65. You're supposed to send that back. What I always tell people, like 3 months ahead of time, check with Social Security. Make sure your Part A and Part B is set to go when you turn 65.
So let me recap. So,
Yes.
and because I'm slow this way, no kidding.
That's fine.
A is hospital.
A is hospital.
B is pharmacy.
Well, B is for anything.
Pharmacy, physician.
Anything a physician does, yeah. And then Part D is pharmacy. So
for drugs.
Correct. So
something tells me in the last 2 years you've had an intimate look at these things, more than you may have wanted to look at.
I have, yeah. There's a lot of changes for next year, particularly with your Part D drugs. So some of the changes for next year. One positive thing is they did away with the dreaded donut hole.
I was going to ask about the donut, and the donut hole is the first so many dollars are covered, then there's a gap where nothing's covered, then there's a gap on the other side where it's covered,
right.
Encouraging you to jump to the other side. So use more drugs so you'll get paid. It's kind of a disincentive.
Right. It's been really awful, honestly. The donut hole, people that are in the donut hole know, because all of a sudden, hey, I was paying $47 for this drug and now it's $150, $200 in the donut hole. They got rid of that. One positive is next year when you reach $2,000 out of pocket, after $2,000, your drugs are zero.
Really?
Yes. So once somebody reaches $2,000 out of pocket on pharmacy prescription drugs, everything else the rest of the year is zero.
Well, I got to ask. So, does it sound like there's being some common sense being played into it?
Somewhat. Yes. Yes. There's some other things that are going up which I can talk about.
Sure.
Your Part B premium. Now, your Part B premium, everybody pays into Social Security each month. That's your Part B premium.
And this is for physicians.
Yeah, that's your Part A. That's your Part B, actually, for physician services.
Right.
And you pay $174.50. That comes out of your Social Security check.
Oh, okay.
So everybody pays that unless you get extra help, which you may not pay that. There's a lot of things we can go into, but most people are paying $174.50.
Right.
And your Part B premium next year is going up to $185 a month.
So let me get this real quick,
Yes.
and because my wife works with retirees a lot in her
Yes.
CPA practice.
Yes.
And so you can retire at 65, but you don't have to.
That's right.
You could retire at 72. You could retire at any
You
of these
could.
others to maximize your. So it's possible. And this is the question I have: could I be 67 and having not retired yet, and having to pay $174.20?
Well, you could, if you had a group plan. I have people that may have a group plan until they're 85 years old, and they may not opt to pay that Part B premium. So they may have a group health insurance, and they've delayed. Maybe it's 85 years old, and let's say Alcoa or some company, GM or 3M, some company you've worked for, decides, hey, we're getting rid of our insurance, which has happened, unfortunately. So they come to me and say, hey, Brian, I need to get on Medicare Part B now, so they'll have to start paying that premium, and I get them into an Advantage plan or a supplement.
So you get in that pool that guards them from huge spikes or drops or whatever.
Correct, yes. Yeah.
So how would I get in touch with you, Brian, at Affordable Health and Life?
Well, you can find me on the web. You can just put in Brian Kulis, Kulis, good Lithuanian name. That's what
Lithuanian, who knew?
Yeah, I know, Lithuanian. Kulis, and you can search. You can, and my website comes up, or some terrible picture of me, or something on the maybe a picture of me and you doing something, right? Yeah, that's. Or you can call 501-922-7449.
I want to just insert here, and I hear this number on the radio all the time. You said 501-922. That's like a local number. That's not a Little Rock or a Hot Springs. That's a local number.
And I'm not masking as a number, right? I'm not calling from Florida and using 922, right?
Exactly.
So, no, we've been in the Village area for over 20 years. We actually have a little ranchette in Perrin, Arkansas.
Greater Perrin. It's not the burbs.
Greater
it's like
Perrin.
downtown Perrin.
It's downtown. It's right. It's very, very urban, right? We have a old high school and a closed down gas station. So that's downtown Perrin, which I love. Great.
And if it is beautiful. It's a wonderful place right there at the turnoff where you can go back into
the old high school.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And every time I drive past that high school, I think, okay, well that was a cool old school.
Yes.
But there are kids that live in this area that get bused back to Bryant. For 45 minutes.
Oh, absolutely. They've been trying to open the school back up. It has an old school gym, you know, like from the 1940s.
Really?
Yeah, it looks like something out of Hoosiers or something. It's
Really?
great. Yeah, it's wonderful. If you ever go in there, it's just this old school gym. You know, the old wooden bleachers, and it's great. I mean,
you know, actually, off topic, but imagine that, me and Brian off topic. The Elks Lodge, just up the way, the white building, the Elks Lodge,
yes,
up on
right.
the right-hand side.
Yes.
I have a doctor family friend and who I help with their Airbnbs. They actually purchased that land and all that building.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's a gorgeous place. And the bottom line is, and Brian's not saying, it's a 2 stones throw from the National Forest. It is gorgeous.
Oh, the Ouachita National Forest, and you've got Lake Sylvia up there, and it's in the Winona Scenic Road or Scenic Trail that goes from Highway 9 all back over to Highway 7 to Jesseville. And if you've never done, have you ever done that?
Oh, I have all the time.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And it's also where most people don't realize, we talk about these places that sound like they're impossible to get to. It's easier than you think. It is a gravel road, but it's easier than you think.
It is.
But the Flatside Wilderness area is accessible from that.
Absolutely. It's gorgeous.
It's right back over here. About a 250,000 acres of national forest that is set aside as absolute wilderness. And people go, oh, I'd love to drive through there. And I go, you're not listening. It's wilderness. There's no roads. There's no motor cars, not a single luxury.
Yes.
But you're literally just, you're 2 to 5 miles from that area.
Oh, it's wonderful. And yeah, we saw a black bear when we went down there one time. A little black cub ran in front of our vehicle, so it was great.
Funny you should say that. Last time Diane and I were in the wilderness area, this looked like a big black shepherd, a dog shepherd was, and I thought, that's odd. And it kind of bolted across the road, but then it turned around and looked back. And I mean, we're 200 yards away. You know, we've got our cameras out and whatever. And about that time, a little black fluff ball comes running out, and another little black fluff ball comes running out and following Mama back across the way.
Oh, that's great.
Anyway,
that's great.
And actually, we could talk all day about the CCC and the beautiful things they did in that area, Fort Mountain.
Oh, I love that history.
Wilderness, it's amazing.
Right.
All that to say, that and a cup of coffee, and Brian will line you out at 501-922
7449.
7449.
And in my, I'll review your drugs, review your plan, give you an honest opinion. You know, if you're new to 65, we have to come up with a supplement or advantage plan.
Right.
If you have an existing policy, I don't charge to do reviews. You know, I get paid commissions from Blue Cross, United Healthcare, what have you. I don't charge. If I honestly think the plan you're on is the best plan, I'm going to, I'll drink a cup of coffee and I'll say, stay with your plan.
So let me get this straight.
Right.
It's no cost to you, to the end user customer, right?
Absolutely not. No.
Can you beat that deal, or is there something I don't know about?
Well, see, the coffee thing, maybe. I'm trying to bribe people with a cup of coffee.
Is it now?
Cup of coffee and half.
Well, let me come back to this. So you start out with a cup of coffee and half.
Yes.
But a Danish might arrive at some point. I mean, if a Danish showed up.
We just can't tell my cardiologist.
We're going to have to cut it short. It's been a brief. Brian, it's always great to have you.
Oh, yeah, great.
Great to have you back.
Yeah,
great,
thank you, Dennis.
You're glad among the living and doing well group.
Thank you, Dennis. Yeah.
For Dennis Simpson, Hot Springs Village Inside Out, call Mr. Brian Kulis, 501-922
7449.
7449. Yes. You'll hear him on the radio on KBRA too. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching and listening to Hot Springs Village Inside Out, a weekly podcast starring Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. Visit the website at hotspringsvillageinsideout.com.